Welcome everybody to Strategy Now here at MarketStream.live. My name is Joseph Cusick with the Cusick Group. Securities offered by MoneyBlock, where you can trade $5 flat rates on stock and $5 base rate plus 50 cents a contract. It's a good deal. Check us out at MoneyBlock.com. Taking a look at the stock market into the midday. Well, it's been hit by news on all fronts. You had corporate news, you had economic news, and you had political news. Taking a look at the Dow Jones right now, trading up 16 right now, in the green at 20,019 on the futures. Taking a look at the Russell 2000, still down in the red, it has been all day, down 880 at 1,373 and 60 cents. Taking a look at the NASDAQ futures, trading up $3.50 at 51.50. And finally, taking a look at the S&P E mini futures, you have those down $2.75 at 22.91 even. So you have a mixed market. All the major averages have been basically fluctuating between slightly positive to slightly in the red, but basically flatline into the midday. On the corporate news front and earnings front, earnings season is alive and well with a cluster of large cap stocks reporting both after yesterday's close and on the open as we reported. You know, the results, though, I'd say they've technically been mixed at best. Taking a look at how some stocks, how investors and traders were reacting a little bit more nervously or cautiously towards Celgene, ticker symbol CELG, down $1.18. Bristol Myers, BMY, down $2.25. Qualcomm, QCOM, down $3.25. Ford Motor, down 43 cents at $12.35. And Raytheon, RTN, down $5.22 at $1.44. Now, there was only one Dow component that reported this morning. That was Caterpillar, ticker symbol CAT. Trading at $96.90, down $1.25, showed mixed results. With this 1.27% pullback, investors were disappointed with the revenue, and that was overshadowing the better than expected earnings per share. Now, all earnings weren't as bad, nor were the reactions. There are a handful of companies that have been moving to the upside. Some of the more notable ones are Comcast, CMCSA, up $1.62 at 75.08. You have Dow Chemical moving to the upside, up about 81 cents at $61. That's DOW. Biogen, BIIB, the biotech, is up $7.60 at 280.30. And you have eBay trading up $1.41 at 31.63. Now, you're seeing those gains, which are impressive, anywhere between 1.5% and 5.3%, and so they're notable. But now you get all these other headlines that are going to start to mute this, and that specifically comes out of some political headlines where Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto basically just said, hey, guess what? I'm not coming. That was after President Trump tweeted, if they're not willing to discuss or basically say that they're going to pay for the wall, and it's badly needed, he said, then, yeah, he sees the reason why you would not come at all. Basically, this is setting a tone potentially on how Mr. Trump could be dealing with other foreign leaders, especially when you're going to start talking about a meeting that he has tomorrow with Prime Minister Theresa May from England. You also see, could this be a tone that's going to be set with the Chinese? There is a lot going on here. And the market really is shaking it off. The market's basically focused on the pro-growth strategy here that looks to be chugging along, and looks that he's going to be implementing it based on his campaign promises. Now, sectors, though, they've lacked leadership thus far since this latest tweet and now reaction from the Mexican president. Now, when you take a look at it, you're looking at most of the cyclical sectors, except for consumer discretionaries, basically down or muted. You could see that the consumer discretionary space, now that could be basically because of the move in Comcast, up 0.4%, but you're seeing things like telecommunications, telephone flat, but telecom services basically down 0.4%. And the only reason why they're probably holding up as well as they are is because of the earnings from Telephone, only up 13 cents, but holding in there at 41.54. Now, the treasuries, though, they've returned to their flat lines after spending most of the morning right near their overnight lows. The 10-year is up about 1 basis point right now at 2.53%, so we're flat. As far as looking at the economic data that came out, initial claims, internet, and new home sales were pretty much the two that I was focused on. And taking a look at the claims data, they came in at 259,000. I guess the key takeaway is that was disappointing. There was an increase of almost about 10,000 month over month in the claims. But it's not really any huge deviation from the numbers we've seen. I mean, historically, this is pretty low, especially what we've seen in the past few weeks. As far as the housing report, new housing report was concerned, it came in at 536,000 units. That was a little bit lower than expectation, but I think that's because of a combination of higher prices, higher mortgage rates. That is appearing to putting stress on a very specific part of the market, which would be that lower income market, because we saw that the average home price for new homes was coming in at under 299,000. So that's a drop in that average price on new homes. So that could be a segment of the marketplace that, because rates are moving and because prices have moved so much to the upside, that they're just not buying right now. So we'll have to keep an eye on that in the homing sector. But housing stocks, as we had noted, like Pulte, after their excellent earnings, are moving to the upside. So we have some decent results coming out of there. All right, folks, that is it right now for MarketStream.live. I'll be back for a Tech Talk session, and we are going to be going over some big earnings names that are going to be out both after hours and before tomorrow's open. So get a context of where these stocks could be moving. I'm going to give you that context. I'm going to give you those ranges. So join us. See you then.